Thank you all for taking your time and being here with us today. Mr. Bognett, you ran in Pennsylvania's 8th Congressional District. What percentage of Luzerne County is roughly in the 8th Congressional District in Pennsylvania?
Luzerne County accounts for approximately 38, 39% of the population in the district. Less people voted, less votes were recounted than percentage-wise we thought would be in Luzerne County.
So about 38% of the congressional districts in Luzerne County. What percentage of Luzerne County is in the 8th Congressional District? About 85%? Is that roughly accurate?
85%. The rest is in Mr. Muser's district.
Okay. And where were you on the ballot in the November 2020 election? You were running for the 8th Congressional District, correct?
That's right.
And when did you or your campaign become aware of precincts in Luzerne County did not have ballot paper on Election Day?
Very early in the morning. I hit about 16 precincts on Election Day going around greeting voters. We started to hear very early in the morning, I'd say in the 9 o'clock hour, we started to hear from voters calling me, texting my campaign saying they're turning us away, they don't have paper, they won't let us vote, what do? We're suspicious about doing it on provisional ballots because of all the problems, what should we do? That was the first that we heard about it.
So about 9 o'clock, somewhere in the 9 o'clock hour, you began to hear about it. Polls open in Pennsylvania at 7 a.m., is that correct?
That's correct.
So less than 3 hours into Election Day, problems began to arise. Are you aware of voters being turned away at the polls in Luzerne County on Election Day?
Yes. I mean, we heard multiple stories. We had a hotline set up. We had hundreds of calls to that hotline. We had affidavits submitted, people that were told to leave and leave their phone number, and they'd be called back later in the day to come back. Happened in some precincts.
So a whole series of problems. Many people were unable to vote. Did you or your campaign bring legal action?
We did. We brought a lawsuit in the post-election period to try to get a ballot reconciliation of the number of people who signed in to vote versus the number of votes that were counted.
So you brought forward a legal action. What was the Luzerne County Board of Elections response to your legal? Let me ask first, your legal action, was that to the Luzerne County Board of Elections?
Correct.
And what was the response of the Luzerne County Board of Elections to your legal action?
Well, of course they fought it. They showed up. Ms. McBride testified. That's the only time she's testified so far under oath about what happened. They fought it. They said everything's fine. A judge, kind of arbitrated and got them to agree that they would release within the next few days a precinct-by-precinct spreadsheet of who signed in to vote versus who voted. Of course, when they did that, there was something like a 4,000 to 5,000 disparity.
Has the county elections director provided an explanation on how the ballot paper shortage occurred or answered any of your questions regarding this fiasco?
She has refused to answer any questions at any public hearing, has never said on the record anything, and continues to refuse, didn't attend here today.
It's my understanding then that the Board of Elections referred this matter to the district attorney for investigation. Do you agree with the board's decision to refer this to the district attorney?
That was an extreme abdication of their duty. That was during the period where certification would occur afterwards. They refused to investigate what happened before certifying. There was incredible citizen outrage, hundreds of people attending meetings that usually 2 or 3 people come to. They wouldn't answer questions then, and they kind of used the DA's investigation as oh yeah, they'll take care of it, maybe next month we'll hear about it. They never answered a single question from a voter on how this fiasco occurred.
So since the Board of Elections handed this investigation off to the district attorney on November 14, 2022, has anything happened? Has there been a report? Has anyone been prosecuted?
There have been no reports. There have been no prosecutions. They've used the district attorney's investigation as a shield to not have to answer questions. I believe they've used it to help cover up. Now, my understanding is the district attorney is doing a criminal investigation. Who knows if criminal activity occurred? He'll investigate that. But what about gross incompetence? What about forgetting to order ballot paper? They will not answer questions. And those same people are going to be conducting the May election, which is outrageous.
So the fact that there's been no report, no evidence coming forward as to what happened, who's involved, there's no report from the district attorney, no report from your Secretary of State, no report from the Elections Board in this case, in your opinion, does that enhance the confidence of voters in Luzerne County regarding their elections, or does it hurt their confidence in the elections?
The voters of Luzerne County are disgusted. They've lost faith in their elections. They've lost faith in their election bureau. This is not the first election we've had problems. There were problems in the 20 and 21 elections. This takes the cake, of course. They ran out of paper. But the amount of voters that have called me and told me that they may not vote ever again because they don't believe their vote matters, it's really a sad day for American democracy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bognet. Appreciate your time with us today. Let me shift briefly, if I can, to you, Ms. Alicia Hoffman-Mirilovich. In this election, did every eligible citizen who wanted to vote, were they able to vote, yes or no?
I don't know.
You don't know if there were individuals in Luzerne County who were attempting to vote but were unable to?
I have no knowledge. I'm not part of the administration.
Understood. Okay, so you're unclear. I think by the end of today's hearing, maybe that will be cleared up for you. Should every eligible citizen who wants to vote be able to vote, in your opinion, yes or no?
Absolutely. That is part of what our organization fights for every day.
Do you consider voters being turned away from their polling location by election officials on Election Day a form of voter suppression, yes or no?
Yes.
So you're unsure if citizens were turned away and unable to vote. I think we'll be able to show that later. You said you don't know that. But if that's the case, you do view that as a form of voter suppression.
Yes.
I have no further questions.